What do the 1095A numbers mean? Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com, and if you purchased health insurance through one of the marketplace exchanges like healthcare.gov or Covered California in 2022, you will be receiving a 1095A with a whole bunch of numbers on it, and those numbers get transferred over onto your 2022 tax return with the IRS on Form 8962. But what do these numbers mean? Let's take a look at them. The first column is the full premium rate for the health insurance for everyone in the household that is enrolled in a particular plan. And that is without any subsidy. So you can see how large the number is. But that number also serves another purpose in that the subsidy that you may be eligible for and could potentially receive cannot be larger than the cost of the health insurance. So that number limits it. You may be eligible for a $2,500 a month in subsidy, but if the health plan only costs $2,000, you can only claim a premium tax credit of $2,000 per month on your tax return. Now, the second column is the second lowest cost silver plan premium, and it is important. It is the benchmark plan upon which the health insurance subsidies, the premium tax credit, is calculated. And it is specific to each member of the household, their age, and where they live. So it is used to make sure that for some people, the consumer responsibility of the second lowest cost silver plan may be 0%. So then the subsidy would equal the cost of the second lowest cost silver plan. And it can go up so that the second lowest cost silver plan is no more than 8.5% of the household income. And so the subsidy will reflect that amount. And so the second lowest cost silver plan is very important for the IRS to determine the final subsidy that someone may be eligible for. Now, the third column is how much was advanced by the exchange on your behalf to your health plan to lower your health insurance premiums. And now, obviously, income is a factor in that subsidy calculation. And you'll notice between January and February of this example, the subsidy actually dropped because the household income was increased. So that dropped the subsidy. And other people may have dialed the subsidy back. Maybe they didn't take it all. But the final number down there, the annual total, that's how much was advanced and will be compared to what you're eligible for when you do your taxes. So if the family's income comes in lower, and in this particular situation, they were advanced $16,808, possibly the IRS will say, oh, you were eligible for $18,000, so here is more subsidy. It's also possible that if the income comes in higher, they may have only been eligible for $14,000, and so they'll have to pay back some of the subsidy. What happens if the household members change? So in this family situation, they did not participate in the exchange for January. They started their health insurance in February. And you can see that the column A, the full rate of the health insurance for these two individuals, equals the second lowest cost silver plan, column B. So we know they have the second lowest cost silver plan, and then we can see the amount of the monthly advance premium tax credit in column C. Then in October, one of the household members leaves and sets up residence in another county, actually, with a whole different second lowest cost silver plan. But this 1095A is for the remaining household member, and you can see that, column A and column B are still the same. They're still enrolled in the same plan, and the subsidy has dropped because it's only subsidy for one individual. This household will receive a second 1095A, and it will be just for those months of the second household member that had moved. And you can see that the second lowest cost silver plan is a little bit higher, and they were enrolled in a plan that cost more than that. But we can see the subsidy there on the slide. Now, all of those numbers, the annual totals, especially the monthly advance premium tax credit, will be aggregated on the primary tax filer's tax return on Form 8962. So regardless of all of this moving around or changes of income, that's going to be the number compared to, what the final income is, the modified adjusted gross income for the family. Now, for individuals in California, last year you received a Franchise Tax Board Form 3895 that looked very similar to the 1095A. You will not receive that for 2022 because California did not provide any premium assistance in 2022. And that's primarily because the federal subsidies were larger than what California was providing. So you will not get that second tax document. Don't worry if you only receive the 1095A. Where's the second one? Don't worry about it. You're not going to get a 3895 for 2022. Now, the 1095As can be incorrect. There could be a lot of different things going on in some of these computer systems. And if you have questions, contact your agent to see what was going on. Contact the exchange like Covered California. You can dispute some of the information if there's missing or incorrect household members. Sometimes you've had a household member, a son or a daughter, that may have left the household and are going to be filing their own taxes. So you need to pull that information out so that they can have their own 1095A to file with their tax return, if that's appropriate, because you won't be able to take that member on your taxes, so it'll look like you got too much subsidy. Incorrect demographic, maybe the address was wrong, which can make a difference on the second lowest cost silver plan because they are based by the region. Missing coverage months, you can dispute all of those, and in general, the exchange, this shouldn't have happened, and they'll send you a corrected 1095A. But you want to check that as soon as possible because that process can take a couple months. And if you like to file your taxes on April 16th or 17th this year, you need to have a corrected 1095A. So if you have any questions or comments, you may leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. So for Insure Me Kevin, I am Kevin Knaus.